Raining again. So we are in the dark of the garage. I'm going to see if you can see what we're working on today. So have the clutch cover off. It was the 3 screws. Those stupid Japanese screws there. Actually, I shouldn't say stupid Japanese screws. They're actually designed much better than our Phillips head screws. It's just that we don't have them around here. So I took a number 3 Phillips bit and put that onto a handy dandy handheld impact driver and removed those post haste. Alright, we also took off the clutch cable. Alright, that was right in here, attached here. Push that in, pull the clutch cable off. Simple enough. Off to the other side. So I've done quite a bit of work here recently, so I'm going to try and see if I can remember everything that I've done. Didn't do a very good job of documenting this part, but anyways, after the clutch cover over on the other side, we needed to get into the drive chain, take off the drive chain cover here. It's those 2 8mm bolts there. It's pretty difficult to squeeze it out of that little space there, but with some patience you'll be able to get it. I'm not real sure how I'm going to get it back in. That's going to be another problem. Anyways, after that you can take the chain off. There's the little master link there that you can undo and take off. Alright, after that I've got the engine all ready to be taken out. Alright, there's 6 bolts, I believe. Well, there's more than that, but there is 1 on each side here. There is 1 under there. One right there. And 1 right there. On the other side, there's a couple plates that come off. Those should be pretty self-explanatory. Don't remember what all the socket sizes were on those. Hopefully I'll be able to get those back in the correct place later on. Next up is going to be removing the engine. Now, a lot of people suggest just rolling this onto its side and lifting the frame off. That requires taking everything off the back, taking off the triple trees. That is more tear down than I'm prepared to do right now. I kind of feel like I'm going to need to be able to roll this thing in and out for the time being. So I'm going to work on building a jig to wrap around the engine and use that to lift the engine out. We will see how that goes. My plan is going to be to put a 2x4 here across the center point of the engine. That should be pretty close to where the center of gravity is. So I'm obviously going to have to take off our choke and switch assembly that has been made here. Take off, I believe that's the cam tensioner right there, and very likely I have to take the starter cover off. I'll see how things go. So yeah, to have a 2x4 sit across here, looks like I'm going to have to block it up over here on this side. Maybe put a vertical support in between the the left two and the right two carburetors. Yeah, that should be it. And strap it to the engine here. Probably under and over the jugs. And that should give me the leverage to lift it up and tilt it as possible, or as needed to be able to get this sucker out. So yeah, it'll be a lift up, it'll be a tilt and slide out. It'll take two people. I'll probably have to put handles on the edges to give myself a little more leverage, but we'll get her done. All right, valve cover here. All right, simple enough. We're just taking all the screws out from around the top. You'll also have to take these 1, 2, and 3 screws out to access these two. And then it should lift off pretty easily. The guy said that 3 years ago he rebuilt this, judging by the condition of the gasket here. I believe that. But speaking of somebody else doing the work, I have come to a first bad omen. Alright, so got the valve covers off, as you can see, and first thing I did was run my fingers along some of these bolts and found a couple that were already loose. I think those are the only two. I didn't check everything, but hopefully that's not going to be indicative of the rest of the teardown. We shall see. Alright, so I removed the covers on this end. The rotor stator assembly there has some questionable wiring over there I'm going to have to remedy before I get that completely separated. We'll see how that goes. But anyways, removed everything because what I was headed for was the rotor here. Put on a 19mm socket on that bolt there in the middle in order to turn the engine so that we can get sorry about that. So we can get this lined up. Alright, so you might not be able to see that, but there's a couple marks that you line up there with the top of the cam tower. Alright, with that key, let's see if I can get that to actually focus on that for us. There we go. With the key at the top. Alright, so next up is going to be removing the caps on the camshaft. Alright, so here we are with the rocker arms off. We'll see these 3 bolts that were here. The 2 on the sides actually go into the rocker arm wrist pin there, and the one in the middle locks the wrist pin in place even if those were to fail. So again, talking about things that were wrong, so you can see I have a little bit of goop here, but more importantly, this end of the camshaft has been all scored to hell. The rest of them look alright, but I'm not real sure what that's going to mean for reassembly at this point. I'm going to have to do a little research because I'm a moron. Don't know as much as I should, but I'm not happy. I will talk to you guys later.